Hello everybody, and welcome back to another unboxing video. This video is dedicated to all my Beatles fans. I'm going to be unboxing the 2023 editions of the Red and Blue albums on CD, or respectively 1962 to 1966 and 1967 to 1970. These came out, I believe, last week or so, and I got them earlier this week, but I didn't have time to make an unboxing video for them until now. Not only am I going to unbox these and show you what's inside both of them, but I'm also going to dedicate this video to having a comparison between these releases and their 2010 CD releases, and just for the fun of it, the 1993 CDs. So let's get started. I'm going to start off first with the Red album, put the Blue album to the side there. So here's the front. Sticker says, "The classic compilation, now expanded with 12 extra tracks and featuring many new mixes. 2 CDs featuring 38 tracks." Here's the side, and here's the back. And it indicates made in Germany. So I already made an indent in the plastic. So let's go ahead and get the shrink wrap off the case. There we go. So here's one more look at the outer case itself. Now let's open it up. So here is part of the inside here. Looks very similar to the 2010 release, if not identical. And inside here is the booklet. I believe there's new content in here. I'll do a flip through. Yeah, so these first few pages are dedicated to pages written by John Harris from 2023. And then here are the song lyrics. So it just basically contains the song lyrics as well as a written article or, essay, in other words, by John Harris. So there's the booklet there. And I don't want to risk taking the discs out, I apologize, but I believe they're pretty much similar in artwork to the 2010 releases. So there is the Red album. Let's go ahead and unbox the Blue album real quick. But here's an overview of the case. There's the sticker, 9 extra tracks, including the single Now and Then, 2 CDs featuring 37 tracks. There's the side and the back, also made in Germany. I made an indent in here as well. Let's get this one open. Sorry, I usually struggle with taking off shrink wrap. If you've seen my unboxing videos of my 4Ks and Blu-rays and DVDs, you would understand. There we go. So here's one more look at the case itself without the shrink wrap. Open it up. Like I said, very similar to the previous releases. Here's the booklet. Now this might be the same exact essay, but maybe it's different. Now I believe this is also by John Harris, but this is, I believe, very much in line with what's featured in the Red album, but just now focusing on the songs from these years rather than the ones from the Red album. So, and then of course, again, like I said, the lyrics. So both contain essays by John Harris as well as the song lyrics in both booklets. So just a little bit of info that I have pulled up on my computer here about these releases. So starting with the Red album, both of these editions, were released on November 10th of this year. There are 9 additional tracks on this release that are not featured on the previous ones. These include, oh, sorry, I have the wrong one here. This one contains 12. Now, my bad, I had the wrong article pulled up. I had the one about this one pulled up. For the Red album, there are 12 additional tracks. And these include I Saw Her Standing There, Twist and Shout, This Boy, Roll Over Beethoven, You Really Got a Hold on Me, You Can't Do That, If I Needed Someone, Taxman, Got to Get You Into My Life, I'm Only Sleeping, Here, There, and Everywhere, and Tomorrow Never Knows. There's also a difference with Love Me Do. With the 2010 and 1993 CDs, as well as probably the 1973 vinyls when they came out, the version of Love Me Do that was on those releases was the version with Andy White on drums, which was also featured on the Please Please Me album. But for the 2023 edition, the version of Love Me Do that's on here is actually the single version with Ringo Starr on drums, which if you have the CDs, it's the version that's on the Past Masters album. So it contains a different version of Love Me Do. It contains the single version rather than the album version. And then also notice that of the 38 tracks, 30 of them contain a 2023 stereo mix. The remaining 8 have the mixes from the 2022 edition of Revolver. So I believe those are the Revolver tracks that are on here. Those are the 2022 mixes. All the other tracks, the other 30 tracks, contain new 2023 mixes. And it's also worth noting, and this goes for both releases, that, let me see, here we go. For the CD and the digital editions of both albums, the additional tracks listed on the back are inserted into the track list in chronological order in terms of their original issue. For the vinyl editions of these releases, there are 3 LPs, and the first 2 LPs retain the track list from the original releases, from the 1973 release, in other words. The additional new tracks that are new additions to each album are placed on a 3rd LP. So I figure that's worth noting for both of these releases. It's the same way for both of them. Now moving on to the Blue album, there are 9 additional tracks for this one, which are Within You Without You, Dear Prudence, Glass Onion, Blackbird, Hey Bulldog, Oh Darling, I Want You She's So Heavy, I Me Mine, and the recently released Now and Then. 6 of these tracks, I Am the Walrus, The Fool on the Hill, Magical Mystery Tour, Revolution, Hey Bulldog, and Old Brown Shoe, received new stereo mixes for this release. So these are 2023 remixes. For the rest of the tracks, the stereo mixes are sourced from those created for the reissues of 1 from 2015, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, the 50th Anniversary Edition from 2017, the 50th Anniversary Edition of the White Album, or the Beatles, from 2018, the 50th Anniversary Edition of Abbey Road from 2019, and the Special Edition of Let It Be from 2021. So only 6 of the tracks have 2023 remixes, or mixes in other words. The rest of them have the mixes from their releases from the albums I just mentioned. And like I said, same thing on the CDs and the digital editions. They're in chronological order from when they were originally released. For the vinyl editions, it contains the original track list from 73 on the 2 LPs, and then it has a 3rd LP containing the new tracks. So now that I've said all that, let's go ahead and do a comparison in terms of the previous CD releases, starting with the Red album. So here's the 2010 release on the right, and then the 2023 edition on the left. So for the 2023 edition, you can see that the color is slightly different, not by much on the photo, and the text at the top is bigger than on the 2010 release. It's also worth noting that if you look very closely here, it says Apple underneath the Apple logo, but it does not say it for the 2010 release. Here's the spine. Different numbers here, but otherwise almost identical. Same thing here. It says Apple underneath the Apple, but not under the 2010 one. Sorry, when I talk a lot, my throat gets very dry, so I'm doing my best here. But here's the back. Very similar, but not identical, because it contains, different track listings. But it's also worth noting, too, that for the 2010 release, there are some songs in mono and the rest in stereo, but this one has all of the songs in stereo. Now let's go ahead and show here. Like I said, a little bit difference in color and clarity, but not by much, pretty much similar. And then open it up here. I will say, I think the 2023 edition photo looks a little bit clearer than the 2010 release, just by a little bit. And then for the booklet inside the 2010 release, this one contains an essay, I believe, by Bill Finnegan from June 2010. And then the song lyrics are obviously forthcoming. I'll just show it real quick. Sorry about that. Gotta show everything, you know. Otherwise, people will probably comment saying I missed it. But they're the song lyrics. But photos, I believe, are similar, if not identical, to the new release. Like I said, I kind of feel risky to take out the CDs, but I believe they're the same in terms of artwork, of Apple artwork, just in difference in terms of track listing. So there's the 2023 release. Put both of these to the side real quick. Now let's pull out the blue albums. On the left is the 2023 edition. Like I said, little difference in color and clarity. And it says Apple underneath the Apple. Pretty much the same similarities and differences between this and the red albums. And for both of these, all recordings are in stereo. Open it up. And then let's take out the booklet for the 2010 release. This one also contains Bill Finnegan essay, which you know, lies within the content of the blue release. I apologize for getting that mixed up earlier. The blue albums and the red albums contain, you know, different essays, but they are written by the same author, Bill Finnegan, for the 2010 release, and then for, I forgot who it was for this one, John Harris. But their essays, of course, talk about the content within the releases. They're not the same between the albums. Hope that makes sense. Let's get this open here. No difference. Oh, photo here is a little bit brighter than the 2010 release. So, very minimal differences, if any, but they are noticeable. So let's put these releases to the side, and now let's break out, of course, the 1993 releases. There are going to be plenty of differences, but I figure it's worth showing. So, difference in color in the photo a little bit, of course. Different in listing the tracks, of course. I've already made a video showing these, but I'll go ahead and show them here. So, for this one, let's take out the booklet. This one obviously contains song lyrics. And then let's put that to the side and pull out the blue album here. I'm very sorry in advance if this is a terrible comparison video. I am doing my best. But, like I said, definitely a difference in color. There's the inside of one side. There's the other side. Take out the booklets. And then probably won't be anything different, just the same. Yep, just the song lyrics. No essays or anything. Like I said, it was probably not worth doing a comparison between the 1993 editions and the new releases from 30 years later, but I figured it was worth doing, So there you have it, everybody. I think that's pretty much all I gotta say about this. I actually did give some of these songs a listen on Spotify when the albums first released on CD and Spotify. I actually gave some of the songs a listen with the new mixes, and I think it was from my end. Maybe it was because I was listening from the web version of Spotify because I was elsewhere. I was out of the house at the time. And I kind of noticed a little bit of a loudness effect in some of the songs, particularly with the Red album. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just look up Loudness War. There's a video explaining what that is, and it's actually very interesting to watch and listen to. But I did kind of notice that a little bit with some of the tracks from the Red album, but maybe it's just my experience of listening through the web version of Spotify. I probably have to listen to the actual CDs themselves because I have not done that yet, but I hope to do that in the future. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. This was an unboxing kind of overview of the albums themselves with the new releases, and then a comparison with the 2010 CDs and the 1993 CDs. I apologize if this video was a mess. Of course, I am not the best with speaking and doing these types of videos, but I hope that you will enjoy. I hope you enjoyed. See, I'm terrible at this. But I hope you all enjoyed this video of me showing these albums. Of course, if you've not subscribed yet, please consider doing so. And until next time, I will see you all later.